Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Leah wants to know if we're going to do Tommy first or Nigel. But
you better not let that thing play this whole time.
You probably already heard her say that. She thinks if she whispers that you won't hear. But this mic is really powerful. It picks up. Did you know it picks up the mouse clicks? I click it with my mouse and they hear it. That's how powerful that microphone is.
So which is it?
We're going to do Tommy first. All right, so Tommy did an interview that I felt, let me turn off this thing before Leah has a conniption fit. Do you know what a conniption fit is? Is that it? I don't know. Today is the 4th of February, 2018. Yesterday we had an excellent time with our viewers from all around the world.
Tasting global food now.
But especially with, it looks like Tommy's flicking off the
I know it
thing
is.
in the background.
Yeah, we'll rewind a little bit.
Well, okay, you're going to start with that Tommy, not my Tommy?
I'll start with yours. It's either Tommy. You can start with yours.
All right, but we did the Super Bowl of foods. Now, today is Super Bowl Sunday.
versus the U.S.
We're not going to watch the Super Bowl. We're not going to do the Super Bowl. If there's some sort of epic thing at halftime, we'll cover it. Y'all know we will. But we wanted to bring to you guys UK food versus US food. We sampled so many things yesterday. We had Horatio on throughout the entire program, which was a blast.
Everybody ate the rest of the toads in the hole. They were
the toad in the hole. I got to tell y'all, hang on. Because I kept going back to it. Like, it was cold in the kitchen, and I kept going back to it and grabbing bites, like until we put it away. It was really, really fantastic.
And why didn't we make this? Devon clotted cream.
Devon clotted cream?
Fudge.
Who's Devon?
Fudge? Devon, as in Devon.
Devonshire?
Just Devon. So you take the clotted cream and it ends up like that.
But we have fudge,
and then
it would be worth trying your fudge.
Then you can take it and put it in tea. So that's one thing we have made before is a clotted cream.
Is it the same thing as fudge?
No. So like clotted cream is when you let the cream just go on top and you skim it off. And it's like it kind of, because you let it sit there for a little while.
Yeah.
It tastes a little bit buttery.
Right. Oh yeah, that's what you add to the recipe.
So then he uses that.
Oh, excellent. Lovely. It looks absolutely lovely. If you didn't see Sean and Tracy's, just go and watch their video by itself in the description of the Super Bowl food competition that we did yesterday. They are a hoot. Sean is here today. Looks like a lot of our mods are here already. So we're going to start out with this interview from Tommy. And when I watched this, Justin Hughes sent it to me. Look, I just died. Like, he really, oh, that's our screen. Hang on. Let me get over here to Tommy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What he did was, and there was evidence that actually he'd been looking you up on the internet quite a lot, and he had looked at and copied tweets, 2 tweets particularly, and they were on the dashboard. So you had tweeted exactly what you said. Where was the day of rage after the terrorist attacks? All I saw was lighting candles.
Can I ask
and the other one is anger. When a Muslim bombed our kids, we were told not to look back in anger. What was the purpose of those tweets?
Can I ask you know the first message you just read, are you going to put a screenshot up of that on your screen? Because you've just completely took that out of context. What that was after Grenfell happened, far-left organisations were had a day of rage planned. They had leaflets calling for a day of rage. You've got that leaflet because that was part of that tweet, but you've purposely left the leaflet out of it, and you're making it sound like I said, let's have a day of rage. What I was showing people was the hypocrisy in our country, that when our children are blown to pieces.
In this trial.
What you've actually just done is misrepresented the truth of a tweet. That's what you've done on this show on purpose.
Anger. When a Muslim bombed our kids, we were told not to look back in anger. What was the purpose of that tweet? Because that tweet was on the dashboard of Darren Osborne's van when he attacked.
Why are you not sitting here reading? Darren Osborne wrote the reasons why he done this attack. Why are we not talking about the reasons why he done this attack? Shall I tell you one of the reasons why he done the attack? What he wrote. No, he
obsessively looked you up online. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all I'm saying is he wrote, terrorists march through our country today. There was an Al-Quds march. Now, the problem I have is that you're the BBC News and you did not report on that.
All I'm saying is, do you accept that there is a lot of hate speech about, and you've condemned that from other people, for example, Anjem Chowdhury, who's now in jail. Do you take any responsibility for that being hate speech?
You think that's hate speech?
I'm asking.
No, do you think that's hate speech?
I'm asking you if it's hate speech.
No, that's categorically not. It's impossible. You have Muslims in this country, in mosques across this country, calling for the death of homosexuals, calling for the takeover of our country. That's real hate speech. Me saying don't look back in anger, me putting these tweets is not hate speech in any way.
Why do you think that he obsessively looked for you online? Because actually it's the case that you were presenting in a way that encouraged him to take
that doesn't make any sense
against
Absolutely unbelievable that you're saying. 49 million people watched my videos in that 4-week period. No, excuse me, and 193 million people read my tweets. Yeah. The reason why people were searching for me is because I give them the truth, unlike you. You're not giving them the truth.
Can I just say, Tommy Robinson, love that. The fact is, after he attacked outside Finsbury Mosque,
which he gave you a reason why,
wrote a letter, and in that letter he quoted your tweet. All I'm asking you is, do you have any response? He did.
Because he quoted
your viewers,
it was heard in court.
For your viewers,
it was heard in court.
For your viewers, read what he said. I'll tell you what he said. He quoted Sadiq Khan. He said just part and parcel of living in a big city. He quoted Jeremy Corbyn.
He quoted you.
No, he didn't quote me.
He did. He quoted you in the tweet. He quoted you in his letter. He quoted that tweet.
Please tell me
what he quoted. That
didn't.
Anger when a Muslim bombed our kids, we were told not to look back in anger.
Do you know what that was? No, he said don't look back in anger. He didn't say that exact words. He said don't look back in anger. The front page of the Sun newspaper after the Manchester attack was don't look back in anger. He didn't quote me, he quoted the national newspaper.
Do you deny that he quoted you in any way?
Yes, no, he gave reasons why he done this.
So he did quote you?
No, he didn't quote me. I can't believe why you're not even looking at the reasons. I can't believe you're not looking at the fact we had 3 massive terrorist attacks. We have 22,000.
This is not what this is about.
No, this is the reason why he done it.
This is about the rise of right-wing extremism and people being radicalised very quickly online in court. And indeed, the commander of anti-terrorism at the Met said that people are radicalised within 4 weeks.
I'm embarrassed for the BBC. We had 3 terrorist attacks in quick succession, and rather than talk about them as a radicalising factor for why this man reacted, he told you why he reacted. You want to put it on the fact. You want to put it on the fact that I report the truth.
Excuse me, can I just say, terrorist attacks are appalling. Nobody is doubting that. All I'm saying is.
So you don't think the terrorist attacks had anything to do with the reason why he done this? You think it was because You think it was because I said don't look back in anger?
I'm asking that there are contributory factors, and he was radicalised online, and the prosecution and the courts and the police said that he obsessively looked at your looked for you online and quoted your tweets. That's a fact.
No, the fact is, his wife said he was radicalised after your BBC documentary.
Do you think
why
don't you? No, excuse me, please. Why don't you sit
the producer of that documentary down here and ask him if he feels responsible?
I love it. Okay, that part, the way
Gina.
Okay.
Holy smokes! What is up with these women in Britain? You know, it's all these feminist women. This is what you're saying. This is what's happening, and then every time you got Jordan Peterson and Tommy Robinson. No, that's not a fact. And then they just keep spewing out these other things, like somehow the people who are listening are going to listen, but they're not actually. I mean, that's why people like us and Tommy and Peterson end up laughing during these interviews.
His eyes sparkle. Okay, I mean seriously.
Because you're not even saying a real sentence.
His wife said that he was radicalized after he watched a BBC documentary. Should we sit your producer of that documentary down?
No.
The fact that they are saying this is what abusers, or I should say, this is what accusers or excusers. All right, here we go. This is what excusers for abusers do. They tell you that the only reason that the abuser is abusing the victim is because it's the victim's fault. Okay? And so what she is trying to say is all you have to do is stop being you, Tommy. Stop speaking out about who they are and what they are doing. And then all of the attacks will just go away. It's all your fault. You made him attack. He got so angry at the things that you were saying against his people that he went and attacked, which is absolutely ridiculous because the only reason that Tommy Robinson and those like him have stepped forward is because the attacks were already happening. But yet you can't say anything. You have to be silenced because you know, you have
my head hurts after that.
You have a scenario. You have the mom and the dad. And
forgive me, snowflake women.
Forgive me for stereotyping here, but this was our life. You have the dad that's the abuser, and our mom wasn't like this. She just hightailed it out there and left with you. A lot of times you have the mom
from the EU
that tells the children just don't do anything to make dad angry. Okay, right. Just don't, just whatever. And we all know this. We've all been in abusive relationships where you just don't make the abuser angry. All right, when you have an entire religious ideology that is heck bent on destroying the infidel. It's no one's fault when they call it out.
Women in the BBC as broadcasters in broadcasting, because I got to tell you, these women are driving me insane. Show me a good female reporter in the UK, because we got some in the United States. Okay?
We do.
We've got Ed Kohler, we've got Laura Ingraham, we've got Michelle Malkin, we've got Dana Lesh. We got some girls on fire here. Do you have anyone in the UK or any journalists in Europe at all that have truth about them, that are fiery journalists? I'm talking journalists on television. Anybody? Is there one?
So Justin Hughes just sent me a message saying that you could hear us, but the sound is muffled. I think I have an issue. When I plug in the earphones, it goes to register it and tries to pick up the sound out of this little mic.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to get earbuds that don't have that. So I'm hoping that I just fixed it by unplugging these. I apologize.
All right, Tommy, let's hear from you again. Now, he is tracking down this potential jihadi guy, and let me just...
It's not my address, it's not where I live. No wrong door number and banding it about. Now with that, with all of the death threats, with people threatening to kill my family, and now with innocent people's addresses being put online, I have a duty to try and stop all of this. So I made the decision to call 999. Because he's making videos, he's sending them to me, he's putting them online, he's talking about how Allah's instructed him. Do you want me to read you what he says? He's messaging me, normally if you're good I will still kill your mother, chop her, burn her, cook her, your daughter who's a piece of shit, slaughter her neck, she will... I will chop that fat little hairy cunt and cook her with her own saucepan. I'll make all of his stuff. Then he's making religious. It's all So after a little wait, the police have arrived, and I thought it's best to try and do this the right way. I'm trying to do this all the right way. So let's sit down, talk to the police, and see if they can do their job. He's then specifically saying he's going to kill my mum. There's other videos of him saying he's going to kill my mum. There's all these different videos. Now, my kids are at school, my wife's at school, my mum and dad are around. Yeah, he may look like an idiot, but it's these people that will do it. At this point, they seem to be taking everything seriously. When I mentioned to them about the tracker... And in my voicemails, I had a message from the owner of the garage saying, we've stopped working on your car because we've found something on your car that doesn't look like it should be on your car. Oh, he said it's stuck on the double-sided tape. A little bit in here. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's it. Hold on. Where was that?
It was in here.
Yeah.
It was in here.
It was in here, just stuck on like that. They sent officers straight away to seize the car, forensics, and to seize the tracker. It looks like we're getting somewhere.
I know there is a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that you're not even aware of right now, okay? So don't think that me just sitting here is the only person that's got any involvement with this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've got inspectors, I've got sergeants all on this as well, I've got the Intelligence Bureau on it, etc, etc. So there's a lot of other things going on.
It is.
Other than me just sitting here right now. Yeah?
That's all I'm looking at, thank you. From the start of watching the videos of this man threatening my family, I had the inkling that he may be suffering from mental illness. That doesn't make it less dangerous. Sometimes it can make it more dangerous.
Exactly.
He's unpredictable. He's being used, he's being manipulated. This is what I believed at the time. He's being used, he's being manipulated, he's being wound up to go on a killing spree. Right now, Ali Dawah's banding innocent people's addresses around with this individual who wants to go and kill everybody. Okay? Massive concern for me. Huge concern. Now, if we look at previous cases over the last 12 to 18 months, we had an 85-year-old grandmother beheaded in her garden by a Muslim suffering from mental health issues, screaming Allah Akbar. We've seen the Leytonstone tube attack, where a man come out stabbing everyone, trying to kill them, while shouting Allah Akbar. Apparently he was suffering from mental illness. We've seen in Russell Square in London, you wouldn't have heard of many of these instances. Russell Square in London, where a Somalian Muslim had gone on a rampage, stabbing 7 random people in the park, murdering an American tourist while shouting
I want you to hear the crazy guy, because I did skip ahead.
This week was this guy.
This is for you, Tommy. In the name of Allah, the death angel doesn't care if you're big. I will cut your mother. I'll rip, you will eat your mother. I'm telling you, I will kill you and take your merchandise. You better pray 2 rakats, you bloody kuffar. Pray to your Lord, because I will kill you and take your merchandise. If you was me, you'd kill people because you're big. I will stab his tweezers, snatch his soul, chew it, and his death will come with my hands.
So basically, lots of people have been trying to find out where I live. Lots of people want to kill me. I have family. Now, Ali Dawah, who's a Muslim individual, had gone to the mosque in the morning, hearing all these voices to kill people, and rather than ring mental health or ring the police, they said prayers for him to Allah. And he then went on a killing spree. So
you know they chopped up the girls and put them in the kebab, so it's like not unheard of. It's so weird. Tracy's a part-time copper.
I then see what I believe is possibly a mentally disturbed individual who's quoting scripture and text from Islamic scripture. He's quoting, all the things he's quoting is to do with his religion. I then look in and find things out about him, and I find out that he goes to the mosque every single day, Mitcham Mosque. I then pay a reward, and I find out where he lives and his real name, all of which I give to the police right here, right now, in that meeting.
No, thank you.
And his name there is... This is another Facebook, but then I found, so these are different Facebook profiles. That's the one he's using to threaten me. Now, when I've looked through, he went to...
He can't. Now, we're going to get to Tommy confronting this disabled person.
So, before his name, which makes sense with the card, that's his real name. I done all of their job for them. Prior to sitting down and meeting with them, I found out and paid a reward to find out who the man was, where he lived, his real identity. They've got the evidence, as you can see. It's clear as day. He's threatening to murder and kill. That's a serious crime. All they have to do is go and pick him up.
We're in London and I had to do the police's job, which is what we done yesterday for them. So yesterday morning, I gave the police the man's name, his address, where he lives. That's where he lives over there.
Good.
So a day's gone by.
I should drop this in
I then have a duty. Video. So I then decide to do whatever I need to do to protect my family and make sure that this man is taken off of our streets.
Down.
Have you got mental health issues?
Yeah.
Right, so you're talking about killing my kids. How have I found you before the police have found you? How have I got you here before the police have found you? Where are you running to? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. You're threatening to murder my children, bruv. I'm not going to hurt you, okay? If I wanted to hurt you, I'd already hurt you.
Okay.
I'm not going to hurt you. You're threatening to murder my children. How do you think, bruv, if you've got mental health issues, you need help, bruv. If that's the case, if you're standing in front of me now, yeah? Are you going to come to my house and hurt my family?
No.
So why are you saying it, kid?
Someone keep brainwashing.
Someone's brainwashing you, and I can tell someone's brainwashing you. Who's brainwashing you?
Hang on. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. But he goes and he tells who it is here in a second. Oh my gosh. That's so awful.
Ali Dawah's brainwashed you to kill my kids.
I got that from YouTube, actually. Someone said he'll kill someone and take his
merchandise, like some Islamic.
Have an arm wrestle.
Can you have an arm wrestle? See, mate. Look,
friendly
listen,
one. Friendly one.
Friendly one. Look.
Oh my God.
Look. Look, son, I can see. Yeah. See, I'm meeting you now, and I know there's no danger to my family. Yeah.
Okay, I'll protect you. I'll protect you.
Protect me. So Ali Dawah, talk to me. So Ali Dawah was brainwashed her.
I watched his videos.
So Ali Dawah's been brainwashing him. Here we have a mentally ill man, clearly mentally ill, a victim, a vulnerable person, who's told us Ali Dawah, the same man who you've seen a screenshot for, passing a new address around, the same man that gave an innocent family's address out last week, the same man that's had a complete campaign to put where I live and find where I live. That's who's been brainwashing him. This is dangerous.
You'll be okay, brother.
Video, arm wrestling match, me and you.
Afterwards we will.
We'll have an arm wrestling match afterwards. Yeah? So yesterday morning I went to your officers. They told me they've got 4 different units on this. They've got cyber, they've got intel, they've got CID, they've got all these groups. They're all operating to make sure my family is safe. I've come to find him because I don't trust us. To protect my family. You've come to find him? I've come to find him. So I've waited outside his house. I've seen him come out for his first prayers, and I've come over to assess myself if he's a danger to my kids, because I've got, as I said, all the evidence is there. He's been making videos, putting videos online saying, I'm going to kill you, Tommy Rodgers, I'm going to kill your wife, I'm going to kill your kids. And I can't believe that I'm standing here. I've had to come to London to find him, that no one's arrested him. And he doesn't need arresting, he needs sectioning. He's mentally unwell.
21 male constituted.
Your officer is what I would have thought by now after how profile this is. It's all been online, it's all, everyone's watching it, and how profile it is. I've come here and assessed him myself the minute he tried to run off, but the minute I've met him, I can see, look, he needs help. He's got mental health issues. I've had attack after attack after attack. You've never arrested anyone, done anyone. You've never prosecuted anyone. I get continually. I'm fed up of sitting and reading comments from Muslims saying they're going to butcher and kill my kids and my family, and I shouldn't have to do it because there's laws. We always hear about after terrorists he was mentally ill. Now, if this man would have come and killed me, or killed an innocent person in the home, or killed a woman, it's too late then. It's too late. Someone's life has gone. We always hear this, and it's these people that are used, that are manipulated, that are wound up. First thing I asked him was, what do they teach you at mosque? And he genuinely looked scared when he said to fear Allah. And he looked scared, like he is scared of Allah. So when someone sets him on a path to do something for Allah, this is the sort of vulnerable victim that will do it.
Yeah. You answered it, Lara.
Exactly.
Oh, there you go. See how strong you are. He is strong. He's strong. There you go.
Who remembers Nicky Riley? Nicky Riley had Asperger's and serious learning difficulties. He was radicalised and then handed a bomb to go and blow people up. Luckily, he blew himself up in a toilet. But this is exactly the same situation. This is why the government, counter-terrorism and the police should have been all over this to take this man off our streets. It's ended up with me, the person who is threatening to kill my children, getting him the help he needs. Now you can see the difference in what he's been told about me after his brainwashing by Ali Dawah, what he expected of me after all he's been sent to kill my family on a mission to kill us all, and the reality after I've met with him.
Why does people show hatred in you? Because first I didn't know you, that's why I was doing it. Okay. When I knew you, you're a good person, you're not a bad person.
No, it's all right, man. But you, as I said, just get the help you need, because you need help. You need medical help. So don't. And you see those sort of Ali Dawahs, they're going to use you.
Be nice to the police officers.
Preachers, they're going to use you. You don't want to be used, yeah? Because they'll wind you up and make you do something like you do it, right? Sam.
We've got an ambulance coming down.
An ambulance is coming, yeah? I think everyone knows what would happen if a non-Muslim had said any of these things. Completely different situation. I completely feel, and you can probably rewind to this once it happens, that the police and the government are allowing me to be targeted and eventually be killed.
Wow. I agree with that, Tommy, and it's really unfortunate because they see him as a nuisance and they are ready for him to just be gone out of the situation.
To the European Union, he's a threat to the UK in that he is a threat to the establishment and to their own deep state. And it's absolutely insane because if he was on YouTube saying, I'm going to go kill you, I'm going to eat your children, I'm going to, rape your wife.
He would be arrested and in prison for like the rest of his life.
But Muslims can say these things. Why? Because so many say these things.
Right.
And so it's become like this normal thing and we're desensitized to it. But as soon as that's why you only hear about like the Western crazy person who says something crazy. And there's a total difference between saying Islam led you to do something and mental illness led you to do something, and then mental illness and Islam led you to do something, because like there's always going to be some sort of ideology that makes somebody kill somebody.
Yeah.
But with Islam, that is an ideology that preys on mentally weak people.
Yep.
And uses, like, if you fear Allah and you want to go to heaven, you should go kill these people.
Tommy said that he saw genuine fear in his eyes. And what I loved at the end was Tommy was so kind. He was so loving. He was so caring. And he said,
this man who said he was going to eat his wife.
If the roles had been reversed, and the roles wouldn't have been reversed, but let's for argument's sake say that they had been reversed.
Right.
If there had been a mentally disabled Christian young man that had been threatening someone at a mosque.
I'm going to kill the Muslims, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to eat you, whatever.
They would not have handled that situation the same. I'm sorry. Not a single Muslim that I know of that goes to mosque. The situation would not have been handled the same. It just would not. Tommy has the love of God in him, and so he is able to go in with the Holy Spirit and diffuse the situation.
And see who the real culprit is. All right, so we don't get to use our Irish accents very much. Okay, so
Nigel Farage is going to
Nigel went to Ireland. Yes, he did, and he went to speak to some of them. And guess what? Not everyone there wants to be part of the EU. Not everyone there wants to be a liberal lefty maniac.
Do you have that set right?
I have it set as...
Because I had watched it and messed up with the time.
Oh, I think this is a good place to start.
To us, because all the way through, going back 45, 50 years, we were assured, don't worry your little heads. This is just about trade. It won't affect your sovereignty. It won't affect your independence. And I'm sure you've heard one or two of those arguments here in the Republic of Ireland. The whole thing, frankly, has been a gigantic con from the word go. And I'm pleased to see that since the Brexit vote, we've got Eurosceptic parties springing up right across Europe. In Sweden, a Eurosceptic party currently tops the polls. In France, there are now a variety of Eurosceptic parties on both the right and the left.
It's big.
In Germany,
it's a big deal.
A brand new Eurosceptic party achieved nearly 100 seats in the Bundestag.
Brand new.
And if you go to the east of Europe, if you go to Hungary, you go to Poland, you go to the Czech Republic, you go to Slovakia, just look at what those prime ministers are standing up and saying about the attempt by Brussels to impose migrant quotas on them.
Stop it!
Just look at what they're saying.
No.
Indeed, the UK commentator Andrew Marr said, if you listen to the prime ministers of those 4 countries talking about Brussels, talking about migration, they make Nigel Farage sound like a Foreign Office diplomat.
Like a little fairy!
So right across Europe, we see the growth and development of political movements, of people that say, we actually love Europe. We love the different nationalities of Europe, the different peoples of Europe. In my case, the different wines of Europe. We love Europe.
Ireland.
But what we don't like is this attempt by the European Union to hijack the word Europe. To them, Europe is that flag. Europe is that anthem. Europe are those glass and steel structures. Europe are tens of thousands of highly paid bureaucrats, and they think, because they've got all of this, that they own Europe and the word. Well, they don't. We, the individual countries and peoples of Europe, we own the word Europe, not them.
Yes, preach it. Now, our grandmother was Irish.
Her last name was
Dyer. And so we have some, I never get to bring out my Irish props.
Not a lot happens in Ireland, you know.
No, not a lot. So when Nigel goes to Ireland, I can bring out my Irish props.
It used to be that a lot of things were happening in Ireland.
It used to be,
We just weren't covering the news then.
We were quite wee. We young
little
ones.
lasses.
Yes. My grandmother on my mother's side, you see.
So I'm pleased to see this growth of these new political movements everywhere. With, of course, one very curious exception. What on earth is going on in the politics of this country?
What's going on in Ireland?
How much more humiliated can the Irish nation be than for years being run by the Troika? The indignity, a few years back, of your budget being seen by the German government before it was put to the Dáil.
That's embarrassing, Ireland.
Put to the dial.
For Germany to see your budget first, to say, hey, are you we young ones able to take care of yourselves?
Not even a net beneficiary anymore. You are paying into the European budget, and your Taoiseach said in Strasbourg the other week he's happy for Ireland to pay even more into the European budget.
Of course they're happy to have Ireland be paying more. No, we don't want to be paying more.
Yes, he's happy for you to pay more. You've heard this morning just how much you've lost by giving away what should be yours, 200 miles of the Atlantic Ocean.
I won't stand for it.
Don't give away your ocean, it's all you've got.
Which, frankly, you're ill-suited for. And yet, I get told that Ireland is a very pro-EU country. Oh, yes, Michael O'Leary told me, so it must be right. And there is this perception, because in Lisbon 1, O'Leary was against the treaty, do you remember? and called the European Commission the evil empire. But then, when it came to Lisbon too, he was for the treaty and thought the European Union was wonderful. I'm sure, folks, that change of heart had nothing to do with money whatsoever. But we're always told, Ireland is a pro-EU country. Varadkar said it when he was in Strasbourg the other week. The perception
it true now?
Of
Anyone
the media
here from Ireland?
Across Europe is that Ireland is a very pro-EU country, very servile to the demands of Brussels. And my analysis is this. I don't think Ireland is a pro-EU country. I think the political, media and big business class of Dublin.
The media class in Dublin.
They're the ones.
The political class.
Oh, they love it.
They're pro-EU, yes they are.
They love it.
They love it.
You want to meet the Irish men and women that work for the European Commission? I meet them. They love it. And what's not to like? 16% top rate tax, 10,000 civil servants in Brussels earning more than the British Prime Minister, 7 or 8 weeks holiday a year, no chance of being sacked.
You got 10,000 bureaucrats making more than the British Prime Minister. When you're in Brussels, you get paid a wee bit.
If you're incompetent, in fact, from what I can see, you probably get promoted.
Money talks, you know.
Well, they must have found Mr. Van Rompuy somewhere, I don't know. And probably the best pension deal any of these men and women are going to get anywhere in the world.
Yeah, their pension's so good, their dogs.
But the problem, folks,
health
is
insurance.
that they dominate the media conversation. And whilst there are people, individuals in this country, some independent politicians, academics, some journalists, whilst there are people in this country that will stand up and make the counter-argument, what you do not have in this country is an organised, mobilised organisation that is out there with the absolute distinct attempt from day one to take away from the politicians their votes. Because if I learn anything in UKIP, however good an intellectual argument may be, however powerfully you make a point, it's only when they think they might lose their job because of you that they start to sit up and listen.
Listen. The EU is going down. It's a sinking ship. It's the Titanic.
There are a very large number of men and women in this country who, frankly, at this moment in time, do not have the democratic representation that they deserve. And that is something, I think, it's up to you, of course, but I think that is something in a democracy that needs to be put to an end. And those of you that are here today and are keen and enthusiastic and believe that the nation state is the building block, the essential building block, that democracy is the system that we wish to live in, it is incumbent now upon you to organise, to mobilise, and to put up candidates and to fight those European elections in just 15 months from now. Because
Farage is awesome. Let's see if he gets to... Let's watch the end here.
So this union will not work. It does not work. It is increasingly unloved by the peoples of Europe.
We don't love you here.
In the Brexit campaign, I think I can say, have more than done our bit thus far. But now...
He's a little proud.
But now...
Just a wee bit.
Now it is time for you to make these arguments, to organise and to mobilise in this country.
Start singing some shanties in the pubs.
Godspeed in doing
Something about
so.
down with
If I can
you.
ever be of any help or any assistance, I'll hop on a plane to Dublin and come and give it to you. Thank you very much.
I absolutely love Nigel. I love that he has gone to Ireland because I don't know about you guys over there, but here in the United States,
quite well there, don't you think?
It feels like he's just kind of, or excuse me, it feels like Ireland is kind of put on the back burner for a while.
Little bit. Oh yes, definitely.
So I'm quite thrilled.
It's one of my favorite accents to do. So Ireland, could you please put yourselves in the news a little bit more? We'd love to cover you.
Perhaps for good things.
Yes, perhaps
Only
for good things. Yes, yes. All right. So now I want to.
I'm sorry.
She's not touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Michelle. All right. So
what's next?
Our dear friends, Polish friends. This is very cool for us. It's very spiritual. We are connected with real, bona fide, awesome Christians in Poland.
Yep.
They have a Twitter page, which is Make Poland Great Again. And
it's going against the Tide TV because Iść pod prąd, which is their Polish channel, means literally to go against the tide, to go against the flow. Right. So it's go against the Tide TV, and they are broadcasting in English, or at least dubbed and subtitles and things like that.
Okay, so yes, and they've been making some English episodes. I would like Michelle to take this. And actually, we're going to drop it in the description. But we also have permission to upload it ourselves and then drop their link in the description too, which I'm not sure if we're going to do, but we might do just so that you have it uploaded and you're seeing it. It depends on how many they do. If they're doing once a week, we might do it. But here's the thing. We don't know a lot about Polish politics, but they have become this bastion
on the front
righteousness and holiness and sane thinking. Okay?
Yeah.
Sane thinking. They're not, you mentioned transgenders, they're like, no, boy, girl.
It's hard to put a whole country together because so many of our countries are divided.
But Poland has a unity.
And they're divided within their country. We see it a lot in the comments. There's a lot of Polish people that don't like this channel
and Christians, right?
But overall,
recognize this, y'all.
They find this common ground to come together as a country.
Here's the thing: you can fight each other all you want on Catholic versus Protestant,
right?
But remember, at the end of the day, you're coming together under Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know that a lot of the Make Poland Great Again, they have brought in historical facts that a lot of the Catholics work with the communists.
Throughout history,
so there's a lot of bowing down towards, and actually, unfortunately, the Catholic Church is doing that right now in China.
Mm-hmm.
They removed 2 priests in China and allowed to put in 2 new priests who were commie priests. And it's you can't waver, all right. But anyways, you guys can go back and forth. When I see Poland, I see united Poland with small little divisions but I see you united on a lot of things. There's more that unites and divides. So I'm going to play this clip here because what happened was Israel said there were Polish death camps, and Poland's heart is broken. I have been looking through my comments. I've been looking through my feed. And it breaks my heart because I'm seeing the Polish people say, we are one of Israel's biggest supporters. And they really are, compared to any other country in the world besides the United States. Poland supports Israel. And they are adamant that they were German death camps in Poland killing Poles. And we showed you that video.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're pretty upset about it. And I want to play for you.
I hope Unica doesn't mind, but Pastor Pavel's daughter had sent me a message. Well, I had sent her a message, and then she sent me one back. And she says, thank you. We pray for changing our government because, unfortunately, it turns towards communist China and Russia and Germany. Please pray for Donald Trump that he won't abandon Poland because of our bad government.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, we are praying, but I don't think that Donald Trump is going to give up on Poland after the warm reception that he received during his visit. The Polish people opened up their arms to Donald Trump. And so this is Pastor Pavel. I don't think that Donald Trump is going to turn his back on the Polish people. And I'm praying that that is true.
All right, so here's a clip, and I'm going to play for this here for you with subtitles, and I'm just going to go ahead and read. If we had a sovereign Polish nation today, the entire world would have talked about 3 million Poles in the Polish Holocaust. This tweet I've shared from Vice President Mr. Mike Pence. In German death camps, 3 million died. Vice President Pence said, a few days ago, Karen and I spent our respects at Yad Vashem to honor the 6 million Jewish martyrs of the Holocaust who 3 years after walking beneath the shadow of death rose up from the ashes to resurrect themselves and reclaim a Jewish future.
Gdzie on mówi o 6 milionach Żydów zamordowanych.
Where he talks about 6 million Jews murdered by the Germans.
Niemieckich zbrodni, mówię, proszę też pamiętać.
And I tweeted, please remember likewise about 3 million Poles murdered back then together with the Jews.
Razem z Żydami. Bo trzeba
because we need to remind the entire world
że obóz śmierci,
the death camp in Auschwitz was not built for the Jews.
Nie był wybudowany dla Żydów.
Auschwitz was built by Germans for the Poles.
Dopiero później,
only at a later stage it was built out and expanded and used towards the extermination of the Jewish nation.
Eksterminacji narodu żydowskiego. Auschwitz
the death camp in Auschwitz was built to murder Poles.
Wymordowywać Polaków. Zobaczcie, nikt o tym.
And now look, nobody's talking about this today. In my research into IG Farben, what I found is actually these camps weren't. I was always taught they were built to kill the Jews.
Right.
And then they were kind of built to make them work a little bit, right? But they really were built to kill them. That's not actually true. IG Farben actually wanted a workforce. They had their entire, and then we don't hear about that because
chemical
it's been
research and development.
Bayer Aspirin is the horrible adulterous child of IG Farben. And I never knew about this until I started researching this a year ago. About this time last year, did I understand IG Farben and the chemical warfare, Monsanto, and is it kind of a awful cousin of this? But Bayer Pharmaceuticals, they needed a workforce, and they used the Polish people first, and then they started to use Jewish people. And so what happened was there was a hatred towards Jews, right? And so they were able to exploit that in people and in Nazi Germany. And the way they have kept their power is by focusing only on the Jews,
right,
and not on their motivations, which was chemical industrialization and getting their product out there for the world. They wanted to make money. It wasn't, when we hear about Nazi Germany, we hear about taking over the world, blah, blah, blah. But what we don't hear about is it was about businessmen.
Exactly. Let me, a couple of comments here. Fernando Key says, yes, our hearts are broken. Poles helped to save Jews, even my grandmother and my neighbors, so it's awful to us. And
Sorry,
So What
yeah.
confirms, he says, yes, Bayer, So What's our German correspondent. So, there you go.
Yeah, and Bayer wants to merge with Monsanto to make a Franken chemical monster. It's one of the most awful things. Yes, dear Lord, help us. I want to go to Make Poland Great Again page, and I just want to kind of go through a couple of their tweets. This episode here,
that's the one that I just dropped this into the description, so you guys can watch this on your own.
I don't know much about him. I've been watching their episode. I want to say the New York Times or Washington Post or somebody is praising this guy in Poland. And he was not a good guy. And this whole episode goes to explain that he was actually a communist. And let's see. I love what they say here. The most badass. I'm sorry, you're going to say that just because it's in there. They put in there. Independent, 100%. User-funded. Hold no bards. Say 100% truth, no matter how or who hears it. Or Polish patriotic and only biblical Christian TV and publications in Poland. You've probably never heard of, despite being around for 15 years. And it's Ispod Prod. Yeah,
I know that.
And then this is Jack Posobiec that tweeted this out. Stop altering history. German death camps, not Polish. Remember. It's important to put people into... it's important to know historically what happened and why things are happening. And And we love So What. He is German. But there's a huge difference. In Poland, if So What lived in Poland, we'd know his name, we'd know his face, and we'd be able to see his videos.
Right.
But if we don't give you his name, and we don't show his face, and you don't give his address, you don't give anything about him, because they could cart him off and take him to jail in Germany.
Just for speaking the truth.
And so...
So What is not threatening people. He is not putting out videos that say, like the young man that wanted to attack Tommy. He's literally just speaking the truth. This is what's happening, and it's wrong. He may say it's effing wrong.
Right.
But that's free speech.
Right.
They don't have it in Germany.
Right. All right. So let me play part of... I was trying to find... I can't pronounce his name. His name is Chris. He sends me messages. You know who you are. In Resistance Chicks, you send me links, Polish links sometimes, and you sent me one, and it's unavailable, and it's an explanation of a Polish guy explaining how it's hurting the Poles for Israel to say Polish death camps, and they took it down. They took it off the internet. They took it off of YouTube.
Oh my gosh!
They censored it. It's gone.
Wow!
It says not available. So I can't show that to you. If Chris, if you can resend that video, if you're watching now, I don't know if you are. He signs his name Chris, but that's not his name. It's something more than that. Did you have something you wanted to?
Yeah, but you can do yours first. I mean,
all right. I want to. Yeah. So I want to play some pieces of this.
Polski ze mną w studiu.
And this is Unica that I was just reading a message from.
Dzień dobry. Witam serdecznie. I pastor Paweł Chojecki.
Witam.
Witam również. Dzisiaj temat, kim jest Lech Wałęsa. Jest bohaterem.
This is the one with the English subtitles, but actually there is a English
dubbed one.
Yes, they dubbed it over for us, and sorry I don't have the right link.
You can just read it. You can be the dubber.
Let's see.
Their defense minister, Antoni, I don't know how to say the rest of it, means for Poland's strategic alliance with the U.S. We think it weakens this alliance. Today on our channel, we Polish patriots will respond to an article in the Wall Street Journal slanderous to Poland, which was handed out at the World Economic Forum in Davos. The headline says, Poland's new nationalist rulers are erasing Lech Wałęsa from history. Let's begin with the fundamental question. Who is...
What's very interesting is, why is the Wall Street Journal...
Journal?
Journal.
No, that's the new name. It's the Wall Street Journal. That from now on in Resistance Chicks, it's the Wall Street Journal.
Why is it so important to them to make a whole article about this person that nobody knows about? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, exactly. I haven't heard of it.
I don't know how to pronounce this name. We're just going to go with Lech when I say it. The Institute of National Remembrance has established that Lech was a communist secret agent from December 1970, codenamed Bolek. The surviving original documents include his pledge to work for the communist secret police, acknowledgement letters for receipt of money, and his denunciation reports. All of these are in the personal files, all of the secret agent codenamed Bolek, with genuine signatures of Lech. At around that time in December 1970, Lech becomes one of the strike leaders in a shipyard, member of the strike committee, and later on, as we know, becomes the legendary leader. We've known all that in Poland for years. Why doesn't the world know about it? People in the West typically aren't very conversant with Polish politics. Very true. And Lech has been publicized worldwide for more than 30 years. His name is a kind of Poland's export brand, without regard to his actual political decisions as Poland's president, and no matter which political forces backed him. And obviously the fact that he won the Nobel Peace Prize plays a role. That was at the time when the United States was one of the few countries that opposed the imposition of martial law in Poland meant to crush solidarity. At that time, many European governments and the Canadian government didn't bother to impose any sanctions on communist Poland. And only Ronald Reagan's United States cared. Personally, I was Lech's supporter until June 4th, 1992, when he was, as Polish president, toppled the first Polish anti-communist government of Jan Olszewski. And the reason why Lech orchestrated to overthrow, at night, the first anti-communist government was a government elected in a free and democratic election. In that government was also Antoni Macierewicz as interior minister. This was when the parliament authorized Minister Macierewicz to reveal the agents of communist secret police who were active in Polish politics at the time. Some MPs were involved. And it turned out Lech himself was on one of the lists. Exactly. This is where Poland's, and she said, that's right, Lech orchestrated the overthrow because it revealed communist informants at Parliament's request. Another reason was that this government proposed that Poland should join NATO. Anything in the comments you can check. The then defense minister Jan Paris, who proposed that Poland should join NATO, was earlier pushed out of the government. President Lech was against withdrawing Russian troops from Poland. And in the Russian bases, he wanted some kind of extraterritorial Russian-controlled business enterprise.
Michael says he's a communist puppet who fooled the entire world. So, I'm going to drop this link. We did. Because it's really, really important. Like, anytime people are exposing communists, it's really important to me, and it's really interesting to me. Because we see that this ideology has gone into so many countries in this world and destroyed people, right? And destroyed their lives and taken their homes. And Poland, we've got the, somebody sent us this. If you're in the chat, please raise your hand. Somebody sent us this book. It's Polish history and art. But like, hold that side because I just want to show you a few pictures. We don't hear much about Poland, but with it, this
and it's a parallel book, so it's in half Polish, half English.
Some of this is so beautiful, and some of it is so Christian. Hopefully, no naked people. Art is always like naked people. But what I wanted to show you is that the Poles have an intense, beautiful, rich history. Yeah, and they brought a lot of that to America. America's a melting pot. When we talk about
a lot of Polish people here,
when we talk about American history, it's a very young nation. We don't have great artistry from 500 years ago or 600 years ago
because we're such a young country.
Exactly.
And the people that came here early on didn't have time to just leisurely be artists.
Exactly.
It was hard life.
Right. And so when we talk about European countries, I always want to go back to the root of where they were good. Okay? And Poland, I want to say it like, oh gosh, it's in the book. 900, 1000 AD or something, they became a Christian nation. You guys probably know. Sorry, I'm going to get it wrong. And a lot of Europe, most of Europe became Christian. Yeah. And the Poles have been through a lot and gone back and forth. And I'm just so happy now that in the world today, all you have to do is stand up to evil and you get catapulted to the front.
Is this Chris right here who sent it to you?
Yes.
All right. So on Facebook Live right now, we do have viewers, and Chris is there watching. So thank you very much for that.
The link you sent with the guy who explained the whole Israel death camp thing, it won't show up on YouTube. They took it down. I was going to bring it up today.
Oh, that's awful. Lindy Lou Hullabaloo says the Poles were treated like dogs by the fascists and later the communists. Stand proud now and get your identity back. The UK loves you. Alex says, and this is on Facebook, by the way, not only Jews, Poles saved dissidents and gypsies, very heroic people holding together while being the geographical east-west revolving door for empires.
Absolutely.
I want to encourage you guys. We have a lot of Polish viewers, and you need to know the solidarity that you have with at least the Resistance Chicks family, and by extension, everyone else in the truth world that is here in the United States.
Absolutely,
so you have a lot of backing and supporting.
Absolutely. We're fighting a different kind of battle now. We're fighting the EU. We're fighting the same ideology and different colors. And so stand your ground and love your neighbor
So Marcin had sent me another translation. Marcin is one of our Polish viewers that does translate stuff for us. And if he takes the time to do it, I like to show it and read it to you guys on air. He says, enclosed, you can find translated into English the most important fragments of an article, which I believe can make you pause, for lack of a better word. The story is very fresh, hit the media this week. Now, he sent this to me 4 days ago. Well, it all boils down to the fact that as a son of a Nazi German criminal wants to block this book by a historian because it showed his father in a bad light. So I'm going to open up and read the translation from our
can they see it? Is Marcin. It open for them to see?
It could be. It could be.
Wouldn't it be easier for them?
It would be if, let's see. No, it's too fuzzy. I'm working on that with XSplit. I've got a question out to them to figure out why this is blurry. It should not be. So let me just read it to you guys. You're not going to miss anything. It's just words. The Criminal, the Book, and Censorship is what he titled. Excerpts from an article by Marcin, published in the magazine, I don't know how to say it, Richie, whatever. All right. In December 2017, the new book by historian Magdalena, the last name is pronounced Ogórek. Thank you, Marcin. Was published. It is entitled
Watcher's
List, SS General Who Robbed Krakow. It could be, well, hang on. I like it when he puts the original title there. Since the book has not been published in English yet, I give literal translation of its title. Thank you for that.
It could be expected that it would inspire discussion.
All right. Horst von Wacker publicly criticized the book and announced he would block its distribution via legal means. He is the son of Otto von Wacker, the deputy of Hans Frank. Let's see who that is. Hans Frank was found guilty of war crimes by International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg and executed in 1946 by hanging. Thank you for that. The Nazi general, governor of occupied Polish territory, in spite of the fact that several months ago he opened his family's archives to the author, Horst now claims he was lied to. Quote, the book by, Ogórek, is that right? Ogórek is a cause for shame for everybody, not only for Poles. She is the biggest opportunist I have ever met. In such end quote. In such words, 77-year-old Horst begins his letter to me when I asked him for explanation of how he turned from the author's supporter who published selfies with her to her bitter enemy. He adds that he feels morally obliged to sue the publisher who committed character assassination on his family. According to the Horst, the punishment for such a crime can be only one, blocking the distribution of Watcher's List and the lawsuit for defamation. Quote, I am wondering myself, what was the reason for such a radical change, comments Ogórek. I think that for the first time, he had to openly face the truth about his father who took part in the Holocaust machine. When I asked him, this is the interview, or the person writing the article, when I asked him who his father was, Horst without hesitation responds, first and foremost, a sportsman and a politician. He does not mention that simultaneously, since 1923, his father served a SA, Stumad, I can't forget it, later in SS, I don't know what these words are, Shuffle, paramilitary wings of the Nazi Germany Party in 1930. He became a member of Adolf Hitler's nationalized, that's NSDAP. So what probably knows what this is. I see Deutsch. That's all I know. National Socialist German Workers' Party. Thank you. He actually translated that for me. Okay. Otto von Wacher was also responsible for the creation of the Jewish ghetto in Krakow, says Johanna Lubecka, a historian of Krakow, a branch of the Institute of National Remembrance. You do not need detailed research to see that everything that Horst von Wacher says and an attempt to block the book have the same goal, to show that his families, especially his father, were heroes and good Nazis. The title of the book looked very interesting to me, says Horst. I thought it was...
This is some pictures. Sons of... then when I put up Otto von Wacher.
Okay. I thought it was inspired by Schindler's List, and its content will allude to thousands of people my father saved. I did not expect that the author's only interest will circle around allegedly stolen paintings. Ugurich is outraged. Horst reportedly, like a mantra, speaks about his father who allegedly rescued thousands of Jews and Poles. He says his father many times could have ordered executions which would have led to deaths of many more people, but he didn't do it.
Ooh,
it is a complete
what a good little Nazi.
Relativization, thank you, of history. Should we now appreciate murderers who could have killed 2,000 people but killed only 1,500? She adds that most likely von Wacher simply believes in his own words. It is said to be that the SS general's son does not seem to have any doubts, but he also contradicts himself. He opens his email sent to the media with, quote, "My parents are not linked in any way to art stolen from Poland." On February 27, 2017, the very same Horst von Wacher officially returned to Polish authorities one painting, a map of 17th century Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth, and a sketch of a Renaissance Krakow, which his mother took in 1939. At the end of our conversation, Ugurich states that as long as the Polish court does not give a verdict, even if her book gets banned in Austria, she will not respect the ban. She'll do her best to have her work translated into English and German. People should learn the truth, she explains.
Wow. I mean, it's really not supposed to be very controversial. During the occupation of Poland in World War II, he was the governor of the district of Krakow in the general government, and then the district of Galicia. Dude was a Nazi, early life a Nazi activist. Dude was a Nazi. He's a Nazi. What's your problem, lady? But there is an article that says here, "My Father the Good Nazi" from the Financial Times in 1913. This is this guy here. Otto von Wacher was indicted as a war criminal, implicated in the deaths of tens of thousands. So how does his son Horst refuse to condemn him? It
says, "I must find the good in my father. My father was a good man, a liberal who did his best. Others would have been worse."
I hate that. That's the mindset that you get from
wow,
truly evil people. Like, I know that I beat you and I only broke two. I broke two of your legs, but if somebody else would have come in and chopped your arm off.
All right, so Justina P says, asked a question in the chat. "Tell me, girls, are there in the USA a lot of people who say that Polish people used to kill Jews in the death camps?"
No, I never heard it.
Cecilia Gal also said, "I've not ever heard that."
Y'all, we never heard that. I never heard that.
It's not something that
it's not a thing.
No, that is not a thing here in the United States.
No, it's not a thing.
Even Tallulah Lula, a.k.a. Tracy in the UK, says, "I have not heard that."
I've never heard that.
So she said, "I just wanted to settle whether it was truth or a lie." Kate says, "Justina, Americans do not believe
it's a lie, baby,
that Poles killed the Jews. That was Nazi Hitler. I have never heard the Poles were involved."
No, girlfriend.
So I hope that settles it.
Going on. I don't know what's going on in internet land right now. I don't know why the Poles are implicated again. I don't know what's going on with Israel saying Polish death camps. I don't understand it because it's whacked out, and that's why we brought it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love you guys.
These were the real killers. This man's father, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he's a Holocaust denier. He's like, my daddy killed people, but he was a good guy. You know, find the good in everybody. Al Capone, baby.
I don't believe in that at all. I hate it when people say that. Find the good in everybody.
I believe there are truly evil people.
Yes.
There are people who have been taken over by evil.
There is no good in George Soros.
Not a drop.
Okay?
Or Hillary Clinton.
There's no good in that woman. There's no good in that man. All right. So let's settle that here and now. Justina says, "I think that people around the world either don't know that or they know precisely that it was Germans who killed the Jews."
Okay.
So Michael says also from Poland, what she means is the process of calling Germans attacking Poland Nazis, and now Poles are called Nazis to blur the picture.
All right. So what's going on in Europe today? All right.
Breitbart London.
Low sentences for twisted tag team who raped woman at gunpoint behind a mosque, an alley, and her own home.
This story has me so furious. I don't even have words.
Two teenagers acted as a twisted tag team, raping a woman at her home behind a mosque and in an alleyway at gunpoint, what police call a disgusting, heartless attack. In March last year, Mead and a 16-year-old who cannot be named for legal reasons broke into the Sheffield home of a man and his daughter looking for drugs and threatening them with a handgun. After realizing they had targeted the wrong house, as its occupants had no drugs or criminal connections, and leaving, South Yorkshire police said the pair returned to the house 3 days later purely for their own sexual gratification, where they threatened the man and his daughter at gunpoint before they each raped the young woman repeatedly. Now, Jason Pitter QC said the defendant, then aged 18, pointed a gun at the victim's father, ordering him to go to his bedroom. After he complied, Hamid held a gun to the woman's forehead and did his business.
Oh, but it doesn't end there.
After she was raped by you, you then effectively marched her to your co-defendant, who
Took
was
her
waiting
back to
behind the mosque.
Alleyway behind a mosque to have this other young man, very young, 15, 16 years old.
When he was finished with her, he told her to walk home. However, her ordeal was not yet concluded. Hamid was waiting for her at home.
When she got back. Raped, taken to another rapist, goes back to the rapist.
And then raped her again. Don't tell the police, because if you do, we'll be back to blow your heads off. Sheffield court heard the traumatic attack led to the victim suffering from anxiety and depression. No joke. I don't feel there's a place for this in the world.
For me. She says, I don't feel there is a place left for me in this world. That's what she said.
I feel like my whole life will be affected by this ordeal. And she said she'll try hard to move on. Sentencing Hamid, Judge Kelson explained he treated cautions on the defendant's record, which include sexual assault and threats to kidnap and rape a young girl, as aggravating factors. However, he sentenced the rapist only to 15 years with another 5 years on license. He may not serve the full 15 years behind bars either, as it is standard practice to release criminals from custody automatically halfway through their prison terms in most cases, meaning Hamid could be freed in 7 years. That's the key here. Oh, he got 15 years. Well, that seems like that might be a decent thing, but not 7 years. His co-rapist was only sentenced to 6 years, meaning he could be potentially released. These are killers because they used a gun and they threatened to kill her. I mean, this is South Yorkshire police seemed ecstatic with the sentences, however, announcing somewhat misleadingly that the teens have been sentenced to over 25 years combined.
You can't just combine sentences of two people and say they got this many. No, that's not how this works. Each individual needs to be okay, hang on. Stop right now. Two people they each committed a crime. Right. Okay, it's not that two people committed one crime and then that one crime is worthy of 25 years. That one crime is worthy of 25 years. They both should have gotten 25 years without bail.
Right.
Each.
Absolutely.
At least.
Absolutely.
And have their package cut off.
I don't know why that's not a thing.
That is a thing.
That needs to be a thing.
In Michelle's country, it's a thing.
Yeah.
You rape somebody, you molest somebody, bam, it's gone. You don't get that no more.
Right.
That's what.
Right.
Hang on. Because I saved this.
Whistle.
The flag on that play. I'm going to keep that around. Yeah, it's going to be part of the show. If you didn't see yesterday's show, go back and watch it. But there's a flag on that play.
All right. So, is Irexit the Irish answer to leaving the EU? An event was held in Dublin, Ireland this week titled Irexit Freedom to Prosper. That was a little bit Australian. Yeah.
Freedom to Prosper.
Freedom to Prosper, which discussed whether or not Ireland should leave the European Union. The event took place at the RDS Arena in Dublin, Ireland this weekend. The event was organised by the EFDD, the Europe of Freedom and Direct Democracy Group, and featured guest speakers including Nigel Farage. That's where he was at, you know. The event began with a speech from Professor Anthony Coughlin, an associate professor emeritus in social policy at Trinity College Dublin and director of the National Platform of EU Research. Coughlin wrote the booklet distributed at the event titled "Is how would you say that?
Irexit
necessary, that we can be free to prosper. Throughout his speech, he stated that the European Union was an anti-democratic project and outlined how the organization had become dominated by a few European countries. Politically, the EU is a Franco-German racket, an attempt by Berlin, with Paris holding on to its coattails, to dominate Europe by peaceful means. Having failed to do that by brute force in the World Wars I and II. This man has read I.G. Farben book, I'm sure of it. The PESCO scheme, which Ireland's politicians have shamefully signed up to, is a significant step in pushing the EU towards a military union to supplement the economic and political union that was brought into being by the Treaty of Lisbon, which gave the EU its constitution, said Coughlin. Dr. Kevin Devine, a lecturer in European Union politics and policies from Dublin City University, discussed her study of Brexit and why she refuses to be paid by the European Commission to push a pro-EU stance in her lectures. I am an academic who focuses on the study of the European Union, and it is important to say that I teach and research the EU from a position of independence and disinterestedness in the European Federalist project. I am not Jean Monnet lecturer. Which means I am not one of those academics who are willing to be paid by the European Commission, firstly, to promote European integration in the delivery of teaching in universities, and secondly, to act as a PR agent to spread the EU's point of view in the media and other forums. Irish journalist John Waters spoke at the event, claiming that Ireland has never successfully obtained independence, even after gaining independence from the UK. Irish independence might well be a good idea, but we've never obtained it, he said. We obtained nominal independence just after one horrific world war and struggled to breathe over the next several decades, which were punctured by another world war. It was in the 1960s before we began to see a straight and even road ahead of us, and no sooner had it manifested in front of us that we surrendered our independence yet again, this time to the European superstate, which immediately began to work on our known propensity for dependency and, in effect, to make Ireland a prisoner of its alleged largesse and its undoubted agendas. So I'm really happy. There's some great some Irish Brexiters, some liberty fighters there.
I like that the word in the front of that Irexit is ire.
Here's a picture.
Anger, ire.
During a conversation between John Waters and Nigel Farage, a lone protester waves an EU flag and whistles a tune, was promptly removed by security. Oh, to joy, do. Why do you take a good song like that and ruin it?
I don't know. That's a very good question. So what had said, I also think that they bring these savages in to destabilize Europe in order to install a military police state later. I could not agree more.
Oh.
St. Mark the Evangelist says, I attend an Irish Catholic parish. They are very charitable people. One year we had a coffee morning to raise money for breast cancer, and it raised £800. So I do believe that the Irish people, there are many, many Irish people that just have a really good heart. Remember when I said...
You told me to get my power.
I told you to get the power. Alfie says, agreed, like the Somali terrorists who get citizenship pulled and will be deported apparently before serving 22 years. His family should leave him. Would lower crime if his family deported with you. True. If your family had to go with the criminal that got deported, it probably would definitely lower the crime rate. So what are we going to go to next, Leah? Stormbear says Germany's decline is pending. They have crushed the UK, Italy, Spain, Greece, Cyprus, France, all to enrich themselves. Same old evil Germany. Now, again, I don't like to use just, the country's name, because we have people like So What in the chat. We have a lot of German viewers. There are good people in Germany. Unfortunately, it's the government. If you had said the United States when Barack Obama, I would have been like, dude, but it's not all the United States. It's just Barack Obama. It's his administration. It's his government. So let's make that a little bit clear there.
Okay, so let me find this. I posted this yesterday on my Facebook page. And
and Facebook, go back up. Facebook is doing this now. When we went live on Friday evening,
it's just beef.
They have blurred our entire...
It's just beef. I love that beef could be a bad thing.
But they blurred our whole live video.
It's not beef. It's actually...
It was all the whole live... You had to click on it because apparently our live video was unsafe.
Okay, so here we go. This is... Iman Tawidi shared this. Watch how this Muslim washes women from their sins with a car wash water hose. Basically...
This is just
washing
weird.
women of their sins with a power washer.
This is just creepy.
I don't understand. Like, this is third world, you guys. This is not.
That will bruise you.
It will.
And he's like going to her face,
to her head.
Head.
It will really. It can hurt you guys. I mean, if you ever use a power washer, it can really hurt you. I mean, it takes pain off of things like that. This is so weird. What? I don't understand. Why in the building either? Like,
Hank Lindy was leaving comments in the Facebook Live, and for some reason I don't know how to get the Facebook Live comments as they scroll, because I'm afraid if I open up the video, you might just have to. Maybe if I open it.
What? I don't understand. Why in the building? Mute either. Like,
we can't mute ourselves. Sorry.
Can't mute it.
There it goes. Now I can see the chat in live. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let me look over and see what other. Wow, there's a lot going on in this Facebook chat. All right. Sorry, guys, that I did not have that up. I'm only able to see like 4 comments at a time where I have. So. All right, go ahead. That was awful. That was awful, awful, awful. Here we are back in Sheffield. What is going on in Sheffield, Yorkshire?
In Sheffield has allowed himself to be
filmed
performing an Islamic
stomping ground
exorcism at his mosque. The video is posted by the Metro. Shows Imam Saeed chanting at a Bradford woman covered from head to toe through a microphone as she screams and writhes hysterically. She has black magic, and the genie and brought the magic is also in love with her, explains the Imam. I just.
حيان الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله شغل إخواني شغل إخواني can you fight Allah can you fight God can you fight God can you fight him يعلمون الناس السحر سحر سحر سحر.
Are you serious right now?
يعلمون الناس السحر سحر 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 يعلمون الناس السحر يعلمون الناس السحر فاحترقت 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 بالله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله إن كنتم
I want to tell y'all what's happening here. What in the world? His spinner! All right. All right, I'm gonna tell you exactly.
That didn't go anywhere. For what? I don't know.
That woman is possessed by a devil. All right, that much is probably clear.
The devil can't cast out the devil. Do you ever read that scripture?
But the devil can't cast out the devil. So what is happening here is a show. Okay, I mean, this woman is an obvious torment. When you are possessed by a demon, you are tormented. There's a biblical precedent. There are many biblical precedents for this. Okay, so
people are actually executed in Saudi Arabia. Regularly executed for witchcraft and sorcery.
I don't think he hit her with the table. I think that she had the table on her head and he was taking it down.
He charges £60 per exorcism.
I want to know his success rate. Because that woman didn't get anything cast out. If anything, a couple more went in there, man. I mean, that was not okay.
That was not okay. That was not okay. That was not okay. That was not okay. If I did a Canada one, that Justin Trudeau, I guess the veterans are having a hard time getting compensation. And one veteran, I have it on my Facebook page somewhere, asked Justin Trudeau, said, listen, I've been injured. I was injured in, I believe he said, in Iraq. You guys aren't paying us paying us enough. And he said, I'm sorry, the money just isn't there. But however, he gave millions of dollars to a known terrorist. Just because he thought he was treated badly in Guantanamo Bay or something like that. Canada's like really weird. Let's just put it that way.
Horatio says it sounds like he was singing Bill Withers' Lovely Day at the end.
All right. So Jordan Peterson's book is doing rather well.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And he had said in his interviews, you know what? I'm not upset about this because my book has jumped to the top of the seller list. This is actually a very good thing. What Jordan Peterson does for young men and women, and men of all ages, I guess I should say, is empowers them to be who they are created to be. And the fact that his message is now getting out there, it's been free publicity. So unfortunately, did I spit on you? I'm sorry. The lady at channel, he spat on her. You got a devil in you? I won't spit on you.
I love that Jordan Peterson tweeted this out. Justin Trudeau says these returning ISIS fighters have a lot to offer Canada. And you will pay for my tears. Woman raped every day while she was held captive by ISIS monster comes face to face with captured fighter. And Justin Trudeau says, you know, let's bring them back. Let's reintegrate them into our society.
Trudeau.
They're going to be fine. Everything. They're just going to be great. They're great people. They're just great people.
What would happen if an acid attack happened on his pretty boy face, which I don't find attractive at all, but they apparently, the Canadians believe that the only reason that he got elected was because like the JFK syndrome.
Right. Exactly.
And so I just think that maybe he needs a little bit of up close and personal understanding of what happens in Islam before you go befriending it.
All right. So I love Jordan Peterson. He tweeted this out. Saudi ex-Muslim woman speaks up. World Hijab Day, which was just a day ago or something.
How did we miss that?
On purpose. She says World Hijab Day is a disgrace and an insult.
It is a special day, supposedly called World Hijab Day. And I'm doing a very short video between my break and going back to work to say that I think it's the most ridiculous thing anybody could ever do. There are millions upon millions of women stuck in the Middle East, North Africa,
hair, by the way.
East Asia, and South Asia that do not have the choice to put on or stop wearing the hijab. And we have this idea that hijab is a minority religion. And every time you talk to a Muslim about this, they will remind you every time that there are 1.7 to 2 billion Muslims worldwide. It is the second most popular religion in the world. It is not a minority religion. It is a huge religion. So this joke really that point. Hijab is an identity, or that Islam is a minority religion, it is not. Why are we treating it differently than the way we treat Christianity or Judaism? Judaism, which is actually a minority religion, and Muslims will tell you, is growing exponentially every year. World Hijab Day is an insult to a lot of women, especially now in the Islamic Republic of Iran, who do not have the choice to take off their hijab in public. It is an insult to millions of women that do not have a choice to take off their hijab in the Middle East, North Africa, East Asia, and South Asia, where they could get prison time, they could get beaten up by their own family members. It is an insult to young women who are even younger than 9 years old, who are forced to wear hijab because apparently being 9 or 8 would somehow turn men on. Of course, these men are pedophiles, and we all know that. It's a way to sexualize women, making them nothing but objects. World Hijab Day is a disgrace. It is an insult. Do not celebrate it. If you do want to celebrate World Hijab Day, take off the hijab.
I love that. Woo! Boom! End it. Drop it like a hot. Seriously, she hit all of the points that I would have hit. Okay? Islam is not a minority religion. It is not something that needs to be bolstered because they have some sort of handicap. Muslims will boast on the fact that there are billions of Muslims in the world. It's a massive, massive religion. And it is an insult to those women that can't go out in public without wearing it. And she also even hit on the fact that having these children wear it sexualizes them. And she hit on the fact that the men that would be attracted by that are pedophiles. This is an ex Muslim. I think that this is absolutely amazing. Thank you, young lady, for doing that video for us.
Okay, this is what I was looking for. Inside a public school social justice factory. He tweeted this out the other day, and I was looking through his feed.
Jordan Peterson did?
Yeah. The city of Edina has changed the way it approaches public education, putting social justice above learning, and the results will shock you. For decades, the public schools of Edina, Minnesota, were the gold standard among the state's school districts. Edina is an upscale suburb of Minneapolis, but virtually overnight, its reputation has changed. Academic rigor is unraveling, high school reading and math test scores are sliding, and students increasingly fear bullying and persecution. The shift began in 2013 when Edina school leaders adopted the All for All strategic plan, a sweeping initiative that reordered the district's mission from academic excellence for all students to racial equity. Equity in this context does not mean equality or fairness. It means racial identity politics, an ideology that blames minority students' academic challenges on institutional racial biases, repudiates Martin Luther King Jr.'s colorblind ideal, and focuses on uprooting white privilege. This is happening in America all over the place. I wanted to share because Jordan Peterson, Canadian, it's kind of, why is Canada is actually North American. However, they're part of, you know, they got the Queen, whatever. They're connected in a way. Anyways, Canada is part of our European coverage because it's kind of like way up there.
Well, pretty much. We say European, but we'll go to South America. It doesn't matter. Anything besides just our regular run-of-the-mill American news.
Right. And so for Jordan Peterson to actually tweet this out is actually really weird because, not weird, but special. Because in Canada, like, people aren't really speaking out. There's very few, because they're so polite there. You know, they're so polite in Canada. And even Jordan Peterson is incredibly polite. But there's just not a lot of, I mean, do we know anybody else besides Jordan Peterson in Canada? We've got Josh Jiggerson, we've got Rebel Media. But other than that, I mean, Lauren Southerton's from, is she from Canada? I know she works for the Rebel. Anyways, all right. So, the Edina School District's All for All plan mandated that henceforth all teaching and learning experiences would be viewed through the lens of racial equity, and that only racial conscious teachers and administrators should be hired. District leaders assured parents this would reduce Edina's racial achievement gap.
How do you measure being racially conscious?
Barriers rooted in racial constructs and cultural misunderstandings. As a result, the school's system obsession with white privilege now begins in kindergarten. At Edina's Highlands Elementary School, for example, K-2 students participate in the Melanin Project. Children trace their hands, color them to reflect their skin tone, and place the cutouts on a poster reading, "Stop thinking your skin color is better than anyone else's."
But who does? Who does? There are no... Children do not come into this world thinking that they are privileged because of the color of their skin. Right. It is not a thing. This is not happening. So the fact that that statement starts out by saying to children, stop doing this, a child's mind will think, well, am I doing that? They don't have the capability to process and say, I'm not doing that.
It's not like everyone is the color of the rainbow or something like that. It literally is a negative to a negative. Highlands Elementary's new racially conscious elementary school principal runs a blog for the school's community. On it, she approvingly posted pictures of Black Lives Matter propaganda and rainbow gay pride flags, along with a picture of protesters holding a banner proclaiming gay marriage is our right in a school. In a more age-appropriate post, she recommended an ABC book for small children titled A is for Activist. Peruse the book and find all sorts of solid gold. F is for feminist, C is for creative counter to corporate vultures, and T is for trans.
Oh my gosh. No, what happened to like F is for frog?
At Edina High School, the equity agenda is the leading edge of a full-scale ideological re-education campaign. The course description of an 11th grade U.S. literature and composition course puts it this way. By the end of the year, you will have learned how to apply Marxist, feminist, post-colonial, and psychoanalytical lenses to literature.
No.
That's the course description. You want to apply Marxist and feminist and post-colonial lenses to literature. Like literally communism.
What's happened in Minneapolis, eh?
The primary vehicle in the indoctrination effort is a year-long English course required by all 10th graders that centers not on reading literature and enhancing writing skills, but on the politicized themes of colonialization, immigration, social constructions of race, class, and gender. It was not a thing. We were homeschooled and we did public school, but that was not a thing. Not a thing. One student characterized the course this way on the Rate My Teachers website. This class should be renamed Why White Males Are Bad and How Oppressive They Are.
Henry says 2 genders in the world, and if you don't understand that, you have a mental illness or a gender dysphoria, which I still consider a mental illness.
The negative review has since been deleted from Edina's High Rate My Teachers page, but this is a screenshot of it beforehand. Increasingly, families who are serious about education are leaving the Edina schools. For example, Orlando Flores and his wife pulled their son, an academic superstar, out of Edina High School in his senior year to escape its hyper-political environment. Flores, who fled a Marxist regime in Nicaragua as a child, had this to say: "Years ago, we fled communism to escape indoctrination, absolutist thinking, and restrictions on our freedom of speech. If we see these traits in our schools in America, we must speak out and oppose it." Flores said that when his son was at Edina High, teachers routinely pushed politicians and political positions they favored, shamed and browbeat students with dissenting views, which is interesting because I'm guessing from Nicaragua they could either be black or just Hispanic or black and Hispanic. So that kid would have been elevated in the school, but they still took their child out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, he says his son had said that the classroom discussions were often one-sided indoctrination session, and students feared their grades would be penalized if they spoke out. The final straw for the Flores family occurred when an English teacher subjected their son and a classmate to a lengthy, humiliating, and ideologically charged grilling, unlike that faced by other students, after the boys made a presentation with which she disagreed, following racially charged incidents in Ferguson, Missouri. When Flores' son requested an apology, school authorities indignantly took the teacher's side. Fearing retaliation, the boy asked to transfer to another English class. There, a student teacher informed the class they would not be reading classic books like books because dead white men are boring.
Oh my gosh.
Flores believes that race and racism should be discussed at school, but relentlessly obsessing about race and pretending it's the only thing that matters is counterproductive.
And that hits the nail on the head. I mean, I think that kind of culminates the whole thing there.
Right.
We get the point. Focusing on race and race alone, saying that is the most important thing in the world,
more to this insanity, but
is absurd. Right. It does not make any sense. It's counterproductive. You're supposed to go to school to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. I don't care where you live. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what gender you think that you are. All right?
I don't care what gender you think you are.
You go there, and that is what you get. Listen, the thing that bothers me about this whole catering to these children's emotions or how they feel is, I don't want to sound harsh, but it makes them weak creatures.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you just, listen, if you weren't treated exactly right, oh well, you know, I'm sorry, you weren't the favorite, you weren't the teacher's pet. All right. Kids were teachers' pets in my school that were the black kids. It doesn't matter. Not all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were black kids that were the teacher's pet because they were smart. And you know what? They were treated better than I was because they were the teacher's pet. It did not matter. I didn't care. Listen, they're the teacher's pet. Okay, fine. Teachers play favorites. Whatever. It's not a big deal. The fact that we have to cater to these kids like, or their parents, or really what this is it's the principal's agenda that she is trying to infiltrate and push into her school system. And the fact that this is being allowed to happen in the United States is very alarming.
It's communism.
It is communism. Absolutely.
So take some comments because we've been going for about an hour and a half.
Yes,
and so the perfect song is We Will Break Divided Walls. If you guys want to say for some Sunday singing.
All right, so Kate says, the powers that be are determined to confuse, divide, to create such a mass diversion so no one can agree, get along. And then they will shove down our throats whatever they want. It is crazy.
Homeschool your kids. Yes, Chris.
So Henry says, dead white men are boring. Is that sick freak? He literally says freak. Talking about necrophilia. Let's see. This attack on white males has to stop, says Pango herself. Otto says, best advice I got as a kid was walk it off, you wussy. Kate says, kids all get a participation trophy. Why work hard when you get it just for showing up? Stormbear says, do not allow a German to infiltrate your program and change your American opinion and soften your output of EU opinions later. The German network of spies is global, very active in the UK and the US. I'm not sure who you're talking about, if that's a joke or tongue-in-cheek.
But I honestly think that they're saying that this is communist kind of indoctrination.
It is.
Jeremy, and
I get it. Okay, very good.
That's where I think that's where it's coming from.
All right, I think
there's another one. Go down.
Down. That's it. Doesn't go any more down.
The globalists know godless countries breed spiritually hungry people. So placing Islam, LGBT, feminism in these countries, people flock to it, and people want to serve a power greater than themselves.
Says Liberty Bell. Well said.
So Christina says, I finally made the jump and pulled my child out of Baltimore, Maryland public schools 2 weeks ago. Best
hot dog! I wish I had like a celebration. I can't throw the yellow flag on the play. I just need like a celebratory thing. Well done.
Fireworks thing.
Christina, I'm curious, did you go to private school? Are you homeschooling?
If you need any
congratulations.
Homeschool information, let us know.
That is fantastic.
Hold on.
I love that everybody in the chat's going to be really excited about that. Bravo, bravo, Baker Mom says.
Thank you for letting us know. That's a big decision. I wonder what your daughter thinks.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to get your guitar?
I do. Yay.
Yay, homeschool. All right. Yay. Hot dog.
Well, if you need any help or any information, let us know.
I'm super excited about this.
We will hook you up.
You need me to back this up?
Yes, please. All right. So this morning I was singing this song. You guys know this song, We Will Break Dividing Walls. I used to sing it in church all the time when we actually went to church.
You need
Just
more
kidding.
Space than that.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a
Somebody
little
had asked,
bit of blooming luck.
Hey Michelle, what's the deal with the camera almost always falling over?
Dog.
The tripod that we have, it's about this tall, and I need it to be about this tall so that I could then spread the legs out, and then it would be about this tall. But I have to have it really narrow, and so it's not, the base of it is not sturdy.
I want them to see the words behind them, but I'm not sure. Let me see.
They're not gonna be able to read the words from behind you anyway. No way. It's too small. Let's just unplug this.
Okay.
That'll be easier. They're not going to be able to read it.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to read the words, actually. They're too small. Can you turn it this way at all? Or no? All right. That's fine.
So little room.
It's been a long time since we played this. I could back this up more if you really feel more comfortable.
So little room.
You're going to need me to back it up.
Well, a little bit.
I don't know what it's going to look like.
That's good. That's really good. That's a lot of room.
Okay.
It's a lot of room. We never had that much room. There might be one in here. I don't know. Alrighty.
Itch your nose. Scratch it.
Reason this came to my mind, by the way, was I have a friend who I went to Bible college with, and he is a black man. And I did not know that he came out of Bible college a bitter black man. And he's posted a lot on my page or on Facebook page against anything. Like everything I post, he's like hates it. For some reason, he's like liberal. Like, how did you go to Rhema Bible College and come out like some sort of crazy liberal, like Black Lives Matter? It's all these older, especially like black men in their 40s. A lot of them are really into the Black Lives Matter thing, and like, I don't know, they become so bitter. And if you hold that in like that, and you don't allow Jesus Christ to heal it, and realize that somebody's treating you badly, it's not. Jesus said, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart.
Right.
And the answer to any problems, right, any divisions, is Jesus, in our opinion. I don't know, you guys are atheists or something, want to stay, listen to some songs. I'm glad that you're here, but most of you are Christians. And you guys know that when we walk in the love of Christ, we don't see somebody's outward appearance. Like, right. Jordan Peterson's an interesting looking fella, but like, I don't listen to him because of how he looks. I listen to him because of what he says. Bingo. Right? And Kohler, funny looking, crazy, but sometimes she says some cool things, right? There's some funny looking people out there, but I don't think about what people look like. I think about what they're saying.
Right.
What he said on this post was, I don't know if I should just, I don't know bring it up, but it was about,
it wouldn't be in the background.
It was about divisions in the country. And I will bring it up because it goes perfectly along with this song. And
Hang on, while you're looking that up, let me, Kate says in California, they are saying that homeschooling parents need to be tracked from day one of a child's birth and assigned a person until they are 18 because they think that they could abuse their own children.
Is that thing, we were worried about this, something coming out of the people who kept their kids locked up in their house.
Which also leads me to kind of wonder if they're not only are they trying to take advantage of that, but I don't know if it wasn't even staged a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just because it's like the gun thing. These things happen, and then to go after your guns, the shootings and whatnot. So
right. So I'm not going to spend too much trying to find this. But
do you remember what post it was on?
It was on Division. It was on divisions in America, and you're either American or you're un-American right now, and that's what kind of spoke to me recently. And that's why we are behind Donald Trump, kind of like no matter what he does, because there's Americans and then there's un-Americans. Here's the one with the Canadian one. I guess I'll play what's here. Oh, you can't hear it. Never mind. Forget it. You guys can't see me. It's so weird thinking that you guys can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. Trump divides Americans and un-Americans. There are two stories of America. One is the American story and the other is the un-American story. On one side, there are pilgrims settling a new land, and on the other, colonists ethnically cleansing the native population. One side sees war heroes and the other side sees killers. One side sees brave police officers and the other genocidal bigots in uniform. One side sees America and the other hates it. At the State of the Union, we saw two halves divided up in our House of Chamber. We saw American elected officials stand for the flag and for the anthem, for veterans, for Jerusalem, and for In God We Trust. We saw the un-American officials selected by corrupt urban machine politics stay seated. The leaders of American, un-American were there in one room while America's story was told. We saw heroes rise, and it was just the Democrats were, and everything right now the Democrats are doing is divisive. I'm not saying the Republicans are perfect. I'm saying that for sure, like, the best way to put this is, like, you've got Mitch McConnell and John McCain and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and James Comey and the DNC. They're all on one side. Okay? Then we do have, barring what some people, especially the progressives, like to say, they're all bad. I'm not going to say they're all bad.
Right.
This is my God's honest truth to y'all. There are some who call themselves Republicans who are good people. There are probably some in the Democrats who call themselves Democrats who are good people. However, the whole platform of the DNC is bad. It's evil. They want to kill babies. Okay. And so when it came to choosing whether, I just closed my eyes and I stood on the side with the Trump people. I had to, and it's been wonderful ever since. And those who haven't, those who are still like anti-Trump, have gotten into this angry bitterness. And my friend said, why are you trying to unite America or show the division in America? Because the church is divided and we don't do anything about that. So it's no big deal is what he says. No big deal. Well, what came to my head was, we're supposed to be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
Colossians says that you would, Paul prays that you would, the believers would be in the unity of peace, in the divine unity of the brethren in the bond of peace. Unity is the key. You can disagree, but still be united.
Right.
I disagree with a lot of things that
our country would not have been founded if our founding fathers operated under this division politics that is running our country today.
Absolutely.
They had to come together on one of the most difficult areas to come together on, and that is religion.
Absolutely.
Most of them were Christians, but a lot of them had different religious beliefs. You have Jesus as the foundation, and that is what they used. But they were divided otherwise.
Can you bring them up the words? We will break dividing walls so people can look at them.
It'll be fuzzy. That's the thing. I'm working on it with my software here to get that fixed.
Well, you guys Google it, put it on the side. This is called We Will Break Dividing Walls. And we want to bring people, we want to unite. We want to unite everybody. We want people to be united. And we can. Insanity. In space.
Sanity. Or with. Through. anointing oil is flowing, and we live as one. You have called us to be a body. You have called us as friends, joined together in the bond of the Spirit unto the end. Father, we join in the prayer of Jesus. As you are, so let us be one, joined together in the unity and purpose, all for the love of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. There is a place of commanding blessings where brethren and unity dwell. A place where anointing oil is flowing, where we live as one. You have called us to be a body. You have called us as friends, joined together in the bond of the Spirit unto the end. Father, we join in the prayer of Jesus. As you are, so let us be one, joined together in the unity and purpose, all for the love of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be dividing walls. We will break dividing walls in the name of your Son. We will break dividing walls. We will break dividing walls, and we will be one. Hey, hot dog.
Hot dog.
Goosebumps. Great song, ladies. Powerful. Praise God, says Liberty Bell. Thank you. It seemed like a lot of people were enjoying it. I enjoyed that song. Leah brought that to me this morning, and I was like, we have not sung that song in a really long time.
Forever. All right. In Christ alone. You can't see. You don't know what I brought up. Duh. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. The chord isn't long enough. Google the words. In Christ alone. Sing with us. Sorry. This is like internet church where you have to Google your own lyrics.
Shut down.
I'm so sorry.
Minute.
We're working on it, guys. All right. Let me just start us out.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled, when striving cease. My comforter, my all and all, here in the love of Christ I'll stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God, a helpless babe. This gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones who came to save. Till on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live. There in the ground his body lay, light of the world by darkness slain. Then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again. And as he stands in victory, since lust has lost its grip on me, for I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. No guilt in life, no fear in death, this is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand, till he returns and calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled and striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I'll stand. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, in Christ alone, my hope is found. My hope is He found. Is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still and striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. My comforter, my all in all.
that's good.
All right, so a lot of people are saying football puts me to sleep. Listen. If you watch the Super Bowl, you can report back to us because we will not be watching it. You can let us know if anything exciting happens. Is that really what?
No. I'm excited.
Maybe they would rather we dance at the end of the show.
Okay. Now, I don't.
Hang on, no.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
She said don't do it.
Oh, I don't think so. All right, here's the thing. Here is the thing.
Don't do it. She said, I don't think so, is what she said to me. I don't think so.
Lee came to me today.
I wonder if I just played it.
I brand new songs. And she was like, listen to this praise band from what, like Ontario or where was it? Vancouver?
Vancouver.
And she's like, these are amazing songs. We should play this. And so I hear it like 3 times. And now she wants to play it.
I wonder if they'll take it down for copyright if we play it.
Well, you probably could get their permission if you just tell them who it is. It's a band called Heritage Hill, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, this is a really good song. It's to give you dancing.
They give you the chords because they want you to play it in church.
They do want you to play it in church.
What they have done is,
but you know what? If I don't grab it from YouTube, I downloaded it. It's a really good song. I learned how to play it. Michelle's worried.
No, I just swing. I'll swing. I'll do whatever. I will go with you wherever you go. I want to take this time to thank the people in our Facebook Live who are here with us. We really appreciate having you guys.
Now, you can download this free on, where did I send you a link? I'll
drop the link in the description later.
You can download it free off this link.
But we had a lot of moderators here today.
Thank you.
Gary, Maia, Worth a Look, Sooks was here. Trying to think of anybody else showed up and I missed it. Or I'm just not thinking correctly. But thank you guys for being here. If you guys left comments, there were a lot of comments today, in the live chat on YouTube or in Facebook. Leave them in the comment section after the video processes. As always, we go live every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is why you're here.
This is this church. So
for
they have,
our European UK show. Oh, it's not behind you.
They have some really cool... nothing is behind me anymore. I can rotate. I figured out how to rotate it.
Oh, cool. So do you want to play it or you want to play it?
I think it'd be funny if I played it myself and then I listened to them myself. And then it wouldn't get a YouTube thing. Actually, I can't find it. If I play it off the YouTube...
Lula, you're supposed to have a wrench. What happened to your wrench? That's what I want to know.
This is me.
If you guys missed our show yesterday,
you can leave.
You need to go and watch it. Sean and Tracy had an excellent video. Horatio was hilarious, as always.
It was awesome. It was so fun.
We had a blast yesterday.
We do a lot.
So I want you guys to go. We were in our kitchen. It just kind of got a little bit crazy and out of hand.
Okay, this is me being super professional. You can leave. You can leave. I'm just gonna play this song. You don't have to stay around. I like this song. Death is Dead. Wait. You can hear it on that, can't you?
Maybe they just want to hear it.
You want to hear me play it. Wait. I'm going to start over.
You're going to play it with them?
I'm going to try with my earphones here.
You want me to start it over?
Yeah, you just pulled out of my thing. I just wanted to get how to start.
There.
You pulled it out. You're trying to put behind me. That's funny.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah. It sounds so much different than when they play it. Yeah.
This doesn't have any volume in it. Go ahead.
I don't know how it starts. And everybody, I'm telling everybody, I'm telling everybody about the one I love. All the things of this order, all not of any word. He's good to me. Jesus. You guys have to hear me. So I have to just play it off YouTube. I don't care. I'm gonna play with them. I'm gonna play with them, but you're gonna hear it play.
You gonna stop this?
Yeah. I'm gonna get this song down. I like this song. I'm gonna be singing this all the time.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna sing it. You're gonna play it with me.
Otto says that Super Bowl Sunday is the day with the highest domestic violence 9/11 calls all year.
Will they be able to hear it? It's not plugged in.
We could plug it in.
That's the problem. We only have so much reach.
They'll be able to hear it. It won't be that loud, but they'll be able to hear it. Just press play. So. Well, the speaker's right here.
They can't hear it. They won't be able to hear it.
It's a really good song, but
it won't work. It's not going to work.
What if I played it here? No, because then it would echo.
We'll do it next time. I'm going to get it down.
Okay, maybe we'll practice first. Super Bowl is a false flag, says Chris Holman. All right, you guys. I want to... Oh, John says you're doing great.
Oh, I love this.
Just play it. They don't have to hear it. They'll just hear you. It's fine.
About the one I love. These things of this order are not of any word. He's good to me. Death was dead to me till Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, He set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My home. Can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
I know. You thought it would be a good idea.
No, but I'm sure they like it. It's a fun song.
I love the song.
Can't you just sing it without the guitar and then you'd be able to hear it?
But sure. On that eternal shore, no pain and tears no more. The day I met my King is dead to me till Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, He set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope in Him secure eternally.
All right, so I think that we will practice this song. I think it's going to be infinitely better with you rocking out on the guitar. Because they're rocking it and you can feel it.
I wanted her to learn it today with me, but
I had 15 minutes.
No, you had an hour.
She literally, I was in the shower. Girl brings her cell phone into the bathroom and says, learn this song. I think I had a half hour at best to learn it. And
they have some really good songs. It's called Heritage Chill Band.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward
get out
to
your
it.
harmonica.
I could probably get out my harmonica. We'll see. That might be scary.
When I'm walking in the valley. When I'm walking in the valley. I'm walking in the valley. I shall fear no more. No. I won't be put to shame. Because my Savior took the blame. My hope in Him secure eternally. Death is dead to me. Until Jesus.
Wasn't that supposed to be the part you wanted me to do?
Through faith in Christ alone, He set me free. Oh, death is dead to me, 'cause Jesus set me free. Hope in Him secure eternally. That's the other song, by the way.
No, it's right here.
Death is dead to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, He set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope in Him secure eternally. Him secure eternally.
I like it. It's really, really catchy.
Hope in Him secure eternally.
What I love about this is that they are writing new praise and worship songs. And it has been a really long time since the church has had good new music. I love the oldies. Don't get me wrong. I love the old hymns and the church songs that are classic. But the fact that they have new music that they're going to flood the church with, I'm really, really excited about this. I think we should learn every single one of their songs, and we'll play them.
These things of this old earth are not of any worth. He's good, yes, he's good to me. Well, death was death to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, he set me free. Oh, now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
I love it.
I love that we're just practicing here with you people. All right, you guys. We're going to sign off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring that bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. A lot of you are watching us live on Facebook right now. We're glad that you're here with us. Follow us on Twitter, where you can find out all the different things that Leah is going to be putting out on our new shows. I don't know when we're going live next, but hopefully sometime within the next couple of days.
Jesus set me free. By
We love you.
Faith in Christ alone,
God
he
loves
set
you.
me free. Now death is death to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally. Well, death was death to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through Christ and Christ alone, he set me free. Now death is death to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally. I'm telling everybody, I'm telling everybody, I'm telling everybody about the one I love, These things of this old earth are not of any worth. Oh, he's good to me. Oh, well, death was dead to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, he set me free. And now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally. Well, I'm going to the kingdom. I'm going to the kingdom. I'm going to the kingdom of the saving grace on that eternal shore. Pain and tears no more. On that day, I'm there, my King. Well, death was dead to me till Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, he set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally. That's good. Well, I'm walking in the valley. I'm walking in the valley. I'm walking in the valley. I should fear no more. I won't be put to shame, cause my Savior took the blame. My hope's in him secure eternally. I'm walking through the valley. Well, death is dead to me until Jesus set me free. By grace through faith in Christ alone, he set me free. Now death is dead to me because Jesus set me free. My hope's in him secure eternally.
We love you guys. God bless.
Lord, you're good to me. Yeah. Bye, guys.